The 5-star, believe it or not, these are the ones that folks want to see. So, two things I'm looking for. One, I'm just going to enjoy the card, but two, Infold seems to have a problem rendering darker skinned main characters. It's like the lighting will be really flat for them. So I'm trying to see if there's some improvement in this. So let's go ahead and kick it off, shall we? Okay, let's see. I took Zane to a forest park on the outskirts of the city for a relaxing camping trip after his intense work schedule. But we ended stumbling into a mysterious realm. Let's get started. The cart's wheels crush the grass as I transport the last batch of supplies into our campsite. I hate camping. Outdoor camping mats, stove, folding chairs, whew, that's everything. Zane, who's in charge of setting up the tent, looks up from the instruction manual.
Thank you for your hard work, Chief of Logistics.
Why would you be wearing all white going camping? Okay, I'm gonna tell the logical part of my brain to shut up. Just enjoy it. I worked hard for this. It's nothing. This can barely be considered a warm up. Looking at the tent that has yet to be assembled, I walk over to Zane. So, how's our Minister of Housing doing? Do you need some help? Zane gives the instruction manual a little shake.
I understand the theory, but I ran into a slight problem with the practical application. If you're willing to help, that would be perfect.
I pick up two. Dang it, Infold, you're going too fast. I pick up two corners of the inner tent and spread it out. Meanwhile, Zane crouches down to compare our setup with the diagram in the manual.
Ah, the poles were threaded through the wrong loops. No wonder it wouldn't stand up properly.
Did we get this from IKEA? He quickly adjusts the crossing poles. Then we raise the tent and position it properly. You're somehow a professional and an amateur at this. Zane secures the four corners of the tent before pulling out the rain fly from a bag. What's a rain fly? What's that?
I can't tell if that was a compliment or a critique.
I have put up tents before. Um, I used to be a Girl Scout. I did not like camping. I didn't. But it was one of those survival skills you had to learn. So
I set up tents during department retreats. However, I've been too busy these past few years to keep up with it. Now I can barely remember anything about the outdoors.
oh, it's okay. I get you. I barely remember. He passes me one corner of the rain fly and we unfold it together in perfect sync. Because we're together up here. That's why.
But it's okay. I've committed the technique for setting up a two-person tent to memory.
Oh, I bet you have. As we smooth out the rain fly, Zane walks to my side and gently brushes against my shoulder.
I'm certain this skill will often come in handy from now on.
Of course you do. While Zane's tent setting skills might be a little rusty, His dessert making abilities are still impeccable. Zane has a sweet tooth like me. The desserts he packed from home are still crispy. After the satisfying meal, I sink into the folding chair and look at the starry sky. If there's a shooting star right now, I'd wish for.
For?
I close my eyes as I speak. I purposefully act out an exaggerated display of sincerity. I wish I could have Zane's desserts every day from now on, especially the freshly baked ones. As soon as the words leave my mouth, I realize how greedy my wish sounds. Why? Every day might be too much. I'll settle for whenever Dr. Zane isn't busy. 1 second passes, and then two. Yet all I hear is the whisper of the wind. Is he going to say anything? Wait, am I getting isekai someplace? Okay. I open one eye to sneak a peek at him. He catches me in the act, and an irrepressible smile appears on his face.
You don't need the help of a shooting star to grant a simple wish. I'll take its place and make it come true myself.
Isn't that sweet? I can hear dudes now. That's so sappy. Well, guess what? Sometimes sappy works. Just saying. Above us, the Milky Way shines like a crystal in the darkness, as if we stepped into another world. If you go someplace where there's hardly any electric lighting, like a lot of it, you're actually able to see the Milky Way galaxy. And one place where I actually saw it, and when I did, it just like hit me in the face, just the awesomeness of God's power. I was up in Massachusetts in Cape Cod, like up near Provincetown, like up near the top there, like the little curl, and went to this restaurant. We got there like around dusk. And then at night, when we walked out, it was like pitch black. You could hardly see anything. And I looked up, and it was just like stars upon stars upon stars upon stars. It was one of the most amazing sights that I've ever seen. And I'm hoping I can do that again. Because up there in Provincetown, it's hardly anything. It's like it's not heavily densely populated or anything like that. So Milky Way galaxy is amazing to see on your own outside. It's awesome. Anyway, moving on. It's so beautiful. Thankfully, I followed my doctor's advice. He always says that looking up at the sky is good for my neck and shoulders.
Your doctor is correct, so you should definitely listen to him.
Something warm brushes against my lips. I glance down, and Zane is holding up a freshly grilled zucchini, waiting for me to take a bite. Okay, zucchini is nasty. Zucchini is gross. Zucchini is nasty. Zucchini is up there on the list of vegetables I will never eat whatsoever. It's up there with rutabagas and black eyed peas. I don't know why people think zucchini tastes so great. It does not. Zucchini tastes disgusting. I couldn't even, I can hide shaved Brussels sprouts in bacon, okay, and I can eat that. I can't even disguise zucchini with bacon. So, no. The only way that I will ever eat zucchini is if it is shredded up and put in zucchini bread. I will eat it that way. Grilled zucchini? Mm-mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. I would have to literally be starving to eat grilled zucchini. I'm just saying.
Your doctor says you've been eating nothing but grilled meat and desserts all night. You should have some fiber too.
Not with no zucchini. Hell no. He's got a point, and with the way he's looking at me, there's no room for argument. I take a bite in my mind. But before I could even taste it, uneven grains of salt melt on my tongue, making me instinctively frown. Why?
Not good?
Salt tastes good. No, just bit my tongue. It's not salty at all. Try it yourself. Before I can carry my plan to get Zane to fall for my trap, I suddenly sense a faint energy fluctuation. Before I get to the energy fluctuation, I want to point out one thing. I was like, why is Zane wearing this outfit while he's going camping? Well, the birds on his shirt are actually arctichions, and they're Arctic birds. And we first see them in the Foreseer myth. They have very, very long memories and they fly very long distances. So it's probably why he's wearing this. Or we should say, why Info decided to put this on him. I'm still not buying that outfit, Info, because I'm not happy with it.
What's the matter?
There's an energy fluctuation, but my watch doesn't detect anything unusual. I could have swore this happened before. Zane moves closer to me and places a reassuring hand on my back.
We should check it out just to be safe. I'll accompany you.
Last time something like this happened, round up with the oh my gosh, Dawnbreaker. We carefully patrol the perimeter of our campsite. After we've confirmed there are no wanderers, we relax. Weird. Why would it?
Being vigilant is always a good thing.
Oh, yeah. If I sense anything else tonight, Zane gently pats my head.
Then we'll do another check.
You trust me that much?
Of course. I trust you unconditionally. Except for...
Around your desserts because I will steal them. Yes?
Except for when you tell me it's not salty at all.
And it must have been my face. When I wake up, every muscle in my body feels grateful for the air mattress Zane picked out. I unzip the tent and leisurely start my morning stretch, but then I freeze. All right, what are we looking at here? In the clearing near our campsite, an imposing tower had appeared out of nowhere. Is this the tower from the Foreseer myth? I bet you it is. Zane! Wake up! Wake up!
I just saw on the news that...
Oh, he called me baby girl, too. Zane steps out of the tent and seemingly forgets what he's about to say upon seeing the sight before him. What about the news? Zane pulls his gaze away from the tower, pausing thoughtfully for a moment before showing me a news article on his phone.
Last night, the Deepspace tunnel experienced another intense disturbance. As a result, several new spatial anomalies have appeared in various locations. After reviewing the nighttime surveillance footage, it's been confirmed that these spaces exhibit no abnormal energy readings. Citizens are free to enter and exit.
Your fluctuation sensing skills are spot on.
But this is the first time a spatial anomaly appeared right in front of me. Now that I know it's harmless, the tower, which had looked so ominous before, seems much gentler. When we make eye contact, Zayne understands what I'm thinking. Yeah, we're totally going in that tower.
Do you want to check it out?
Hell yeah, I want to check it out. Let's go. Let's Scooby Doo this thing. This looks familiar, doesn't it? A lot of time passes before we find the tall tower's entrance. And then we're greeted by a long flight of stairs once we're inside. It's like they were waiting for us. Zane and I breathe a sigh of relief when we finally enter the spacious, level, great hall. Whew, I feel like I did half my daily workout quota by climbing those stairs.
It certainly is exhausting.
Building a long staircase. Has this tower's owner never left this place? Or maybe he was thinking. I clear my throat and deliberately lower my voice. I shall build this tower to be far above the station of mortals.
I see. So this is your definition of being above your station. But there might be another reason behind it. For
Really?
instance, perhaps he dislikes being disturbed. Or he wants these stairs to discourage anyone who wasn't truly committed to visiting.
That's a fair point. You seem to understand his train of thought a little too well, I will. We know why. I wonder if the tower's owner would consider you a confidant if you two met.
I'm different. I actually enjoy being disturbed by you.
That is true, because remember in the myth, the Foreseer did not like us disturbing him. As a matter of fact, seemed like he straight up hated me for disturbing his slumber. It was, yeah. It's very jarring to hear the difference between Zane's voice as Zane and Zane's voice as the Foreseer when he first meets us. It's crazy. I was like, what did I do to you?
And if we ever had a tower like this, I would
Mhm.
carefully consider the dimensions of the entrance's stairway.
Hmm. After circling most of the tower, we become more certain about us being the only people here. We enter the main hall on the first floor, and there stands a massive throne of a peculiar design. This throne, is it made of ice? My curiosity gets the better of me as I sit on the throne. I run my hands along the massive ice pillars to my left and right. Why does the throne remind me a little bit of the Iron Throne from Game of Thrones? Just saying. Do you think this belonged to a king? I lower my voice and strike a regal pose as if I'm about to give out commands. We shall deploy 5,000 troops. We'll capture that city and crush our enemies in one fell swoop with dragons. Just saying. Yeah, because they did have an ice dragon in Game of Thrones. You can use that. Just saying.
You're a natural at this.
As he approaches, I change my pose. Or maybe the throne belonged to a foreseer who delivered prophecies from the gods. Leave me. I have received a divine message. Or I should have said, go forth and get me something fried and smothered in chocolate. Zayne stands off to the side, lost in thought. It's only when I wave a hand in front of him that he snaps back to reality. What's on your mind? You've been quiet for a while.
I was just thinking, how did I never notice you had such a talent for acting?
Because you were busy looking at something else. Just saying. A hunter needs to be flexible. Besides, I'm putting on a good show. Why aren't you playing along?
I was playing along, though.
Oh, really? Zane points to where he had been standing during my royal performance.
Over there, I was playing the role of a royal messenger who didn't dare to speak too much in the royal court.
He's so
And
funny.
now, I'm a silent yet devoted messenger to a foreseer. I may not have any lines, but I've played my part.
Zane's deadpan attempt to explain himself is so amusing that I've decided that I've had enough fun. I stand up and move closer to him. Zane has this like Fraser Crane type of dry wit that I absolutely freaking love. Then may I ask this messenger a question? Would he like to help this foreseer move her living quarters? We spend half the afternoon moving our camping stuff into the tower's bedchamber. Whoa, what? Okay. My gaze is drawn to an unassuming door covered in ice and snowflake patterns whenever we pass by it. Huh. As we pass by the door once again, Zane and I stop in our tracks at the same time.
Since we're curious, let's go in and take a look.
Heck yeah, let's go take a look. It's the Fractal Library. There's so many reasons I love what this looks like because in a way it reminds me of the library from Beauty and the Beast. You know, the Disney animated film where you first see the library. Belle walks into the library and she's just so gobsmacked. That's what this reminds me of. That's why I love the Foreseer myth so much, even though it did make me cry. Not as much as Master of Fate, but it did make me tear up. Shiny flower buds are scattered on the floor. Meanwhile, bookshelves loom over us. I can't even see the top of them. Is this a library? Why are there flowers growing in a library? I lean down to get a closer look at the buds. Jasmines? But these are different from the ones I've seen before. When I touch a tightly closed bud, I unexpectedly feel a chill. They're made of ice. Zane bends down to gently stroke the iced jasmine. His movements are so familiar, as if greeting an old friend.
As expected, not a single flower has bloomed.
The crystalline buds refract brilliant light, yet they remain tightly closed. They appear lifeless. I walk to the bookshelves as sunlight streams down from the skylight. It illuminates the dust particles in the air. Where's the ladder? The shelves are so tall. Are we supposed to fly to reach the top? I hear the sound of ice forming behind me and turn to look. An ice crystal traces an elegant arc through the air. Did you use your evil?
No,
Is this Jazz creeping around? As he speaks, Zane extends his hand. He makes the ice crystal hover above his palm.
it's the ice crystal here, but it seems like I can control it. It probably appeared just now to answer your question.
Just like in the Four-Seer myth, that ice formation was actually Jazz who responded to certain questions. Like when I think was it I think in that myth I wanted to know what Foreseer Zane was looking for in all these books, and this like ice formation shot out of nowhere, went up under my feet and took me up to one of the books, which was a gardening book, if I remember correctly. Zane taps the ice crystal and it immediately flies down to our feet. Yes, that's Jazz. The ice crystal expands under us and forms a platform. It steadily lifts us into the air. This is amazing. Zane, do you think you can learn how to do this? Then we won't have to wait for elevators anymore. He puts his hand on my waist to steady me.
We can use this to go to your window next time I walk you home.
Be careful. The neighbors downstairs might call the police, especially if they're nosy aunties and uncles. I guess you need your own tower to use these conspicuous ice crystals. As my gaze sweeps over the various books on the shelves, I grin. They remind me of the medical textbooks in Zane's home.
Is there a reason why you're smiling again?
I was just thinking that if you had a tower this large, part of it would be a library.
Probably.
His fingers trail along the bookshelf. With the library this big, we could put research materials here, case files there, reference books over there, and as for this spot, I excitedly start imagining what the future library could look like, and he just listens quietly. When I turn to ask for his thoughts, our eyes meet and his somber expression softens.
How about we put your books here? If there's room, I'd also love to add some feel-good stories with happy endings.
Really? If we do that, you'll be in the library for the entire day, and you'd make me stay inside with you. I tease him while I pull out a few random books from the shelf. The text is incomprehensible, but the illustrations are easy to understand. There are so many pictures of jasmines. Whoever owns this place must really like them. Zane seems eager to Jane seems to eagerly take the book from my hands, though I'm not sure if it's the illustrations or the strange writing that caught his attention. FYI, there are different kinds of jasmine. There's Arabian jasmine, there's Brazilian jasmine. There's so many. Arabian is the jasmine that people are the most familiar with, especially as I think it's in I call it the OG seductive fragrance, which would be Shalimar by House of Guerlain. So jasmine is one of my favorite flowers. It smells so good. Literally, when you smell it, you can't help but notice when you smell it. I stand quietly to the side, taking in the entire library from above. My gaze sweeps over the dome, glass windows, and stained glass windows, but in the end, it's the unopened iced jasmine on the floor that draws me in uncontrollably. Yeah, because I don't know if that thing's possessed or what. It's a shame they haven't bloomed yet. The view from here would be beautiful.
It's possible they don't bloom at this time, or the conditions aren't right.
My stomach lets out a low growl, yet it echoes in the empty library. That's funny because I haven't had lunch yet. Hopefully, you guys can't hear my stomach growling. The pages close, and the playful smile reappears on the face of the person behind the book.
Regardless of when these jasmines bloom, at the very least, we can say it's dinner time.
I swear this looks like Beast Castle. Uh, on our third day of camping, we follow our original plan and spend the whole day hiking in the mountains. The weather suddenly changes on our way back. When we return to the tower, we're completely soaked. Thankfully, the tower's fireplace is still working. We put the wood we've collected, we put in the wood we've collected and finally get a fire going.
Do you feel a little warmer?
Zane adds two more branches to the fireplace. I feel much better now that I took off those wet clothes. Come here. You should eat something. I bring two bowls of instant noodles to the fireplace. After looking around, I decide to use one of the stone stools as our table. This spot is perfect. We have a table and we're close to the fire. The only downside is having to sit on the floor.
It's fine. It adds to the camping atmosphere.
We sit down on the floor beside the stool. I start to eat, and the hot broth warms my stomach. Contentment washes over me. Yeah, because man, ramen noodles, those instant ramen noodles, that's some good stuff. Sitting on the floor to eat might not be elegant, but there's something wonderfully nice about this. It's like we've gone back to a more ancient time.
Indeed. I suddenly have the urge to go hunting after our meal.
Is he going to start singing like Gaston too? Devouring some noodles, I pat the stone stool and lean back against it. Who knew having a low table would actually make things more comfortable?
If you like it, I wouldn't mind getting a low dining table for our home.
Really? No thanks. I'd rather not have hunting become the after dinner activity when I come over to your house. After staying here for 2 days, do you feel like this place can be called home?
Yes, and since we're on vacation, it's even more relaxing than being at home.
I shift back against the stone stool and stretch out my legs. I've been thinking about something for the past few days. What if we just kept living in this spatial anomaly?
I suppose you've already concocted a plan.
Oh, well, that's right. I sure am. I wouldn't say that, but I do have some ideas for renovations. Well, I would say that actually. The empty space in the back will be perfect for a garden with flowers and vegetables, and the curtains in the bed chamber can be
If you want
changed.
better sleep quality, using blackout curtains would be ideal.
The library should stay as is, but we definitely need a kitchen.
Let's design an open plan one. Then you can have freshly baked desserts right away.
I like how he's thinking. I love open plan kitchens. That's a good idea. I approve. The firelight is reflected in Zane's eyes. As for the Great Hall, we should have some large plush rugs. They can also cover the stairs.
We can put two recliners on those rugs. Then we won't have to sit on the floor anymore.
In the dancing firelight, we keep imagining different ways to decorate this tower. It's as if our plans could become reality at any moment. Why hasn't the owner decorated this place, though?
Maybe only one person lives here.
Lost in thought, Zane adds two more logs to the fireplace.
It takes two people to make a house feel like home. When you're alone, it's often just a place to stay at. And you tend to make do with the bare necessities. It doesn't only apply to decorations. Take eating, sleeping, and daily life, for example.
Have you lived like that before? He turns to look at me, and a shadow briefly appears in his gaze.
Yes. In Skyhaven, in Lincoln City, throughout university, when I just started working at Oxo Hospital,
How did you live back then?
I would volunteer to clean the lab after class. I also spent time sitting idly in the office after my shift. I occasionally bought groceries while walking around, but I'd usually only remember to eat them right before they spoiled.
Why?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I had no one to share anything with. I couldn't find the motivation for most things.
Perhaps realizing his tone had gotten too solemn, Zane gives me a slight smile, but his expression only makes my heart ache in a way I can't really describe. Zane, are you afraid of being alone?
Not at all. I've simply learned to accept it, grow accustomed to it. I even allowed it to reshape my life.
To be honest, there are worse things than living alone, like living with somebody who makes your life a living hell. I'm being facetious, but yes, it is true. You can live alone without being lonely. That is possible. As he speaks, he slowly clenches his fist.
But I don't enjoy being alone. I don't want to enjoy it.
I place my hand over his and caress it twice.
When I think about the past sometimes, I wonder what I would have become if we never saw each other again.
That's right. I hadn't seen him for 14 years because he just up and okay, from my character's perspective, he had up and disappeared. But from his perspective, because of what happened when he lost control of his e-ball and like almost killed me when I was 8, after the Chrono Rift catastrophe, um, after what happened when his e-ball got out of control, he decided he didn't want to live in Lincoln City anymore. Like his parents asked him if he wanted to stay, if he wanted to leave after that whole catastrophe happened. So between the catastrophe and between his e-ball getting out of control when he was 12 and almost killing me when I was 8, he had already made it up in his mind that he just wanted to like move and didn't tell me and disappear from my life. And I didn't see him again until 14 years later when he turns out to be my primary care physician. But that was always destined to happen because Grandma Josephine said it was his job to take care of me. Too long, didn't listen. Eventually, we were going to wind up meeting each other again anyway, but he didn't want it to be that long. His voice trails off. Silence descends into the room. Hey, Teresa. Good seeing you, my dear. I gently pull him closer and hug him. It's good that such a thing didn't happen. His palm rests against my back.
Yes, I'm very lucky.
I look up at him as his nose brushes against my cheek and he nuzzles me. And as his cool lips move closer to the corner of my mouth, it happens once and then it happens again.
It's wonderful that you're by my side.
I was wondering when he was going to talk. Got that soap opera timing, right? This channel isn't monetized yet, so I don't have to worry about, oh, is YouTube going to like take this down? In the middle of the night, I'm jolted awake by a familiar surge of energy. I plan to get up while not waking Zayne so I can investigate, but a warm hand grabs me as soon as I sit up.
What's wrong? Is there another energy fluctuation?
Yeah, it's somewhere in the tower.
I'll go with you.
Heading to the source of the energy fluctuations, we arrive at the entrance of the library. The door is slightly ajar, and a faint light seeps through the gap. My watch hasn't gone off. Maybe it's like what happened before with the spatial anomaly. I place my hand on the door, and Zayne's hand is soon next to mine.
Let's see what happens.
Why does that reminds me of the Twilight Zone Tower Terror ride at Disney? with the light. As the library door opens, we discover all the ice jasmines have blossomed, reminiscent of a sea of flowers. Their petals sway. Now, in the Foreseer myth, only when the jasmine blossoms does Foreseer Zayne regain his memory. He hadn't been able to get the jasmine to bloom before, but his deal that he made with our main character, because she needed the Creatio Protocore in order to heal her heart, in exchange for like basically not killing her on the when she tried to steal it in the first place, basically struck a bargain that if she got the jasmine to bloom, then all would be forgiven. But he wanted jasmine. If the jasmine bloomed, the closer he got to figuring it, to remembering who he was. So as soon as the jasmines bloomed, he remembered who he was. But because he was the Foreseer, Astra, which is that god, sought to punish him because of that. It was kind of it was nuts. It was so cool. It was so nuts. I'm gonna have to go read through that myth again and try not to cry. Again, the jasmines bloomed because they were ice jasmines. Okay, it happened overnight. Is it related to the energy fluctuations?
Regardless of the reason, we won't be left with any regrets about our trip.
The rain outside has stopped before we realized it. Pure and brilliant, moonlight streams through the skylight. Under the moonlight, Zayne's features are softened to the point where they exude a rare gentleness. He smiles and holds out his hand to me.
Finding this tower is a miracle in itself. It'd be a shame to let the moonlight and flowers go to waste.
You got that right. Okay, lighting looks better. As I take his hand, together we step into the sea of jasmines. Resonant energy hums between our joined palms. Suddenly, countless shimmering particles of light swirl around us. Once they disperse, Zayne and I see our clothes have been transformed. This is so sweet. Does a flowery fairy live here? Like one who says hello by magically changing people's clothes? I look down at my ethereal gown. I can't help but do a little spin. Shoot, I'd be doing a big spin. I don't care.
If there truly is a flower fairy, I believe I'm already standing before her.
First of all, his outfit is dope. I freaking love it. Look at the detail on this. Isn't that nuts? In that case, as a flower fairy, I'd say you're the reason why these flowers have bloomed. And it's got a jasmine boutonniere as well. Somebody called it a corsage. That's no, it's not a corsage. Corsage is what a woman would wear. That's a boutonniere. Zayne pauses.
Me?
A tender joy reaches the corners of Zayne's eyes.
Well then, may I ask the flower fairy to grant my wish? since I made these flowers bloom.
Walk to the center of the sea of jasmines and make your wish. Maybe the fairy will appear before you, and together you'll walk across a rainbow bridge. Also, his tux looks really Southern Gothic. I'm just getting those types of vibes. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but I am. Smiling, Zane walks. Just as I lift my gown, ready to continue our impromptu fairy tale, I see Zane raise his finger slightly. Ice crystals suddenly form beneath my feet, and they lift me into the air. Zane?
A rainbow bridge might be beyond me, but I can offer steps under the moonlight. Is that good enough for Miss Fairy?
Okay, I'm gonna be a total girl right now because in the Foreseer myth, this part was only like discussed, or like not discussed, described, that my main character and the Foreseer were basically dancing on ice. Like every step that we took, there was ice that we stepped on, and just this like waltz. It was so cool the way it was described. I'm like, how come we didn't get to see that? Info thinking like 12 steps ahead of us right now. Not bad. Then now, sir, what
The
is your
avarice
wish?
of my wish is unyielding. Trading all the beauty in this world to make a reality wouldn't be enough. Yet what I have now...
The lighting looks a little better, Info. I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Y'all doing better.
But I want to give you so much more. One sentence, one embrace, one jasmine petal. They're not enough. Shall we dance?
Hell yeah.
Meeting you is the luckiest thing that has ever happened to me. Like these jasmines. After a never-ending winter.
Oh my
I
gosh,
met
that
the
is
one who
freaking
brought spring
gorgeous.
into my life. This space may not last forever. However, I promise to give you more beautiful memories. Every day, starting from this moment.
That is so pretty.
I wish you could be happy for all of eternity. But an even greedier wish of mine is... I wish to be the person who's always by your side when you find happiness. I want to witness every flower bloom in our future together. Will you give me that chance?
Y'all gonna make me cry. Seriously. This is why this darn wedding banner is gonna make a crap ton of money. Stop it.
Let us make a vow in a sea of jasmines. We'll always see the flowers bloom together.
I'm done with how that ring showed up on our finger, okay? Dang it. I did a chef's kiss. Once we leave the campsite, Zane and I return to our busy lives and work. The weekend finally arrives, and Zane made arrangements for us to meet up. He said he'll fulfill the promise he made a while back.
Are you almost here? I'll come to meet you and pick up some seasonings along the way.
Yes, that is my nickname for him in my phone in the game. Yes. Almost. Give me 5 minutes. Actually, I'll meet you in 10 minutes. I
It's ready.
hear, oh, well,
Would you like some tea to go with it?
yeah, sure. Why not? I watch Zane concentrate on the oven. A slight twinge of guilt materializes. Hey, Chef Nation! Says, hey, girl, hey. Girl, you got to scrub back. I dang near started crying again. I was worried my wish wouldn't come true before, but now I'm more concerned about you giving up your weekend just to make it happen. You could be resting instead.
Nothing would make me happier than seeing you enjoy yourself.
I smile at him and point toward the low table in the living room. I put the jasmines there. They like sunlight, so don't move them somewhere else.
You're more worried about the jasmines. You weren't this concerned about me earlier.
Don't get mad, Zane. Well, that's because Zane's gaze shifts to the TV in the living room, and I look at what caught his attention. This is the
Most of the
spatial.
spatial anomalies that emerged recently have disappeared. The effects from this deep space tunnel disturbance are subsiding for now.
Well, that sucks. The screen cycles through aerial photographs. Hang on. No. You're being rotten, being a bad boy. Talking to my cat. I don't even understand why I'm fixated on this. After Zane gently coughs, he moves in front of me and blocks my view of the TV. Oh, this better be good.
You're upset.
That sounds less like a question and more like a statement. I'm not. It's just a place that we called home for a few days. It's probably gone now. And those ice jasmines, I wonder if they'll bloom again. I trail off as I ask myself what I miss more, tower or the jasmines.
Of course they will.
I look into Zane's eyes and finally realize what's important to me. I'm worried that the dreamy days we share might eventually fade away.
Since we made a vow in the Sea of Jasmines.
Zane leads me to the living room. The white jasmines sway in the breeze.
We'll always see the flowers bloom together.
He embraces me from behind and his arms tighten around my waist.
I promise.
Those words land in my ears as I look at the jasmines in full bloom. They must have heard his promise too. That was such a sweet banner. I'm glad I had I'm glad I had Ticket Stash to get this, because that again, this was a card I definitely wanted to match the myth that I liked so much. So if they hadn't animated that part of the myth that was described so beautifully, and it wasn't shown in animation, it was written so beautifully. I was like, I'd love to see this. And this is what they showed us. So this was worth it. This was worth going into the stash. Let me see. What do I got? What do I got? I got the hair. I got the dress. Okay, so I got the hair and I got the dress. So if you get the card and you don't read through the entire story, you do not get the dress. Okay, so if you're like, I got the card, how come I don't have the dress? Reading is fundamental. You have to read. You have to go through the whole card, not half of it, not a little bit. You have to go through the whole thing and then, you know, claim the diamonds and all the swag at the end.